All right, this is a 2013 Dodge Ram. The pan here, just to make sure, does not have any drain plug to drain it. I've watched some videos online. It says to loosen up these bolts. There's 3 up here, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then some over there. I gotta count them. Anyway, it says to loosen them all up, but don't take these out. You want to loosen them up so that this side hangs lower so that you can drain it in the heavier end first. I have done enough digging to figure out that this is an 8mm to fit these screws. I got the gasket under here and just kind of held it up to it to make sure it was the same shape, and it is. So I've never done this before. So if I am wrong and this doesn't work, then I just drain this out and clean it up and fill it back up and go from there. But if I'm right, then I'm just gonna change it like I've seen people do on YouTube, because that's what this is, right? This is YouTube. So anyway, let's take some of these bolts off and drain it in my container here. My container is rated for 16 quarts. I've taken 7 quarts out of the motor. So 7 plus 6 quarts of fluid makes 13. So I should be good on that, on the fuel capacity. So yeah, let's go from there. All right, so I've gotten most of the screws out. I've got these 2 right here, that one and that one. Everything else is out. The 2 that are on top of this piece of the muffler is really hard to get to. This one, I had a booger of a time getting it out. This one wasn't so bad. I sprayed WD-40 up here. I ended up getting this one out by using a small socket wrench, 8mm, and then I tapped on it with a hammer as I turned it, and that seemed to do the trick. It was tough. I'm not gonna put that same bolt in there. I'm gonna put a better, one of these better ones in there, and then put it somewhere where it's easier to get to, because I think the outsides of that are a little bit stripped. But all these are out. So now, according to the video I watched, you just take a screwdriver and pry this down a little bit, and the fluid should dump into my pan right here. So let's do that. All right, so I was able to pry my 2 screwdrivers, one here and one here, and just pried enough so that something came out. I had read where it's good to just drain this for a while and let it catch. Do it in small steps, small motions. That way you're not immediately flooded with 6 quarts of fluid on your head. So that's what I'm doing. I'm happy it's coming out one portion at a time. It's gonna get everywhere. I have seen enough videos to know that transmission fluid is, because it doesn't have a drain plug, is a real booger to get off. See, now it's wanting to drip from over here. I'm having to adjust my pan. The goal though is if I have these 2 screws still in here, everything comes this way and not like everywhere all at once. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get it to come out of one spot more than the others so I can catch as much of it as possible. That would be great. Anyway, this is gonna get messy really fast, so I'm just gonna sit you guys down away from stuff. All right, so I was able to tilt it down, and you can see it's flowing into here like it's supposed to. It is messy. I mean, don't wear anything you wanna keep super clean. So it is going the way I wanna go. Most of it's going in the container. I got a little bit on the ground, but that's fine, we can clean that up. I'm gonna let this drain a little more, and then I'm gonna undo these back screws and then rotate it towards the front of the motor around this muffler to then get everything off of here. All right, that came off of there pretty nastily. Fluid did go everywhere. I was able to get most of it in the container. The pan is down here. Once this gets done dripping, I'll pull it out and show you what's in the pan. If it's like the video I watched, there's a magnet in there that's supposed to catch any metal that may be flaked. But you can see the 2 filters Here's your one filter. It's only held on with one bolt right there, which is kind of difficult to get to, but a wrench should be able to reach that. And then there's like kind of like an oil filter, but it's a transmission filter. Same kind of contraption. That's right there. So we'll undo those, put the new ones in there, and go from there. Okay, to take this, excuse me, to take this one, all right, to take this one screw out, it was actually a tech screw. I actually had to use a star bit with a pair of lock necks to get in here and be able to turn it over this, because there's no room to really get to it, but it was easy to get off. This right here, where the cylinder oil filter or transmission filter was, I had to use an oil filter wrench, and it was tough. I had to pull it pretty hard to get it off, but it's off, and now it's dripping. So I'm going to get the new filter and get it ready and put it in. All right. Okay, I have the new filters in place. This one I just hand tightened as tight as I could tighten it with my hand. It was dripping fluid, so I used a paper towel to kind of help my grip, but it is tight. This right here has a filler tube that goes into a hole, same as the one that came out. And then that screw I started hand tightening, and then I used the vice grips with the little tech screw to tighten it. And it doesn't need to be super tight, it just needs to be tight enough not to fall off. I'm gonna let this continue to drip in the pan or paper towels that I got on the ground. This right here, the pan itself, had a magnet in the bottom that stays there. You just clean that off. It was really filthy. So it had some metal flake on it, which is fine, that's normal. It wasn't like alarmingly bad. But I'm gonna take this out where I can get to it and take the old, looks like somebody used silicone around the corners. I'm gonna take that off so I can use the new seal and clean this up a bit. And then I'm gonna put the new seal on, the new gasket, and then put it back on here. So yeah, let's go from there. All right, so this is that magnet I was telling you about. I cleaned it really good. I cleaned the gasket that was on here off of here. The guy on the video kept calling it something RSV, which I guess is some kind of sealant. But yeah, so this is gonna go back on. I just cleaned it up really good. There was a lot of garbage inside of there. You couldn't really tell it was garbage until you rubbed it with a paper towel, and then it comes out kind of grayish. But that's fine. Nothing really alarming. So anyway, I'm gonna put the new gasket on and pop this back in place. Wish me luck. New gasket sitting on there, just making sure all my holes line up like they're supposed to, and they do. All right, I've got everything buttoned up down here, and I wiped everything down with a wet cloth, just because, I don't know, I feel like it protects some of this stuff down here. Now we're in the South, obviously we ain't gotta worry about rust so much. The bolt that I had trouble getting out, that was over here originally, I put it over here, that way I could get to it easily, and it's fine now. It went on there with no problem. So yeah, everything looks buttoned up. Now all I gotta do is add some fluid and then cycle through the gears, let it warm up, and then add a little more fluid, and then we'll call this good. Cool. And I gotta clean it. All right, 6 Kestrel ATF plus 4s in the Dodge. I'm gonna cycle through the gears and check it again. I've got my light under here. I was looking for anything leaking, and everything looks good. Nothing's dripping. So, yay. I just gotta clean this up. Oh goodness. Well, let's cycle through the gears. All right, foot on the brake. We'll put it in reverse. Neutral. Drive. Reverse. Park. reverse, neutral, drive. That's just warming up the transmission. It says to warm it up to what was it, 119? So my trans temperature is at 71. I don't think it's going to get up that. Definitely run it to get it to 119. It's at 71. 73. Anyway, I may go drive it. Let's do that.